everybody, if you are watching this, then you're in for a treat tonight because this is the Dirt on Gardening podcast. I am here. I am awaiting my host with the most. I should go ahead and mute that so that way there's not an echo. We got this here. I want you to do the repost button. Because don't I deserve a repost? Hey, everybody who are in here, we're going to be talking. I'm waiting for Gray to come up. And we got Gray.
There we go. How's it going, brother? How's it going?
I am good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Let me ask you this. You were doing a lot this weekend because you had a lot coming across your social media feed. What was going on with you this weekend, brother?
Let me tell y'all. So while I'm doing this, I want y'all to tag people y'all want to see come up here, right? Use that little paper airplane, send this to the people. Be annoying. So this weekend, and those of you on YouTube watching, throw some comments up. Let us hear you. Let us see you, right? Because we everywhere. So this weekend was the Caribbean Fest in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. I went out there, a friend I used to live with. She was like, Derek, you want to go to this thing? I said, sure. And I really wanted to go to the Caribbean Fest because I like looking at beautiful people. Okay. I'm lustful in my heart. Y'all pray for me. Okay. I wanted to see the people have dressed a little bit and, see some of the food that was out there, but I really wanted to see that dressed people. So I got out there and it was stupendous. I had such a beautiful time out yonder showing the people black folks doing what black folks do. And it was real beautiful, Gray, because North Carolina is a red state. Large groups of black folk anywhere in the United States is looked at in a rough spot. But we was able to be black and proud and loud.
Nice.
The whole weekend, and it was beautiful. I wasn't out there the whole weekend, but it was beautiful. How about you? What you get into?
Well, I just want to say first that Caribbean Fest sounds fantastic. One of these days, maybe I might have to come out there and we go together, brother. I'll go
Let
with
me
you.
know. I will be right out there.
But the weekend was fun for me. I'm pretty sure you saw the announcement. I've been accepted as honored to be the spokesman for Thrive Roots. I'm super excited. So I made that announcement on Friday. My father-in-law came in town because he was celebrating his birthday. And then, of course,
Uh-huh.
we were celebrating my good news. And so we hung out the weekend and had a good time. And I'm going to tell you this. My father-in-law, it's
Uh-huh.
funny. His nickname is Butch, right? And I'm his Sundance kid because, whenever we're rolling together, we're rolling deep.
We love to see it.
But I'm going to tell you, we had a little fun and we were drinking some adult beverages. And I'm going to just say my 72-year-old father-in-law drank me under the table. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's a professional with it.
He knows how to hold it, huh?
Yes.
My
He
God,
knows how to hold
today.
it. But it was a good weekend, man. It was a good weekend.
Well, congratulations for you. If any of you are commenting, I want to know. I was about to say my comments stopped, but I see them now.
Hmm.
I was like, why don't I see them? I'm waving at everybody now. We're waving at everybody. So
We
this
got
is
Waleed up
great.
in here. Hey, Waleed. I just gave you a whole new name. We got Wade Lee up in here. How's it
I
going,
thought
my
you were
friend?
saying we had Wale in here. I was like, Lord, I'm rooting for everybody that's black too. That's what I was just saying. We got Wale in here. Y'all tag Wale. We need all the rappers in here. Tag every rapper you can think of right now. Okay. Spinderella follows me from Salt and Pepper. So y'all tag her too, DJ Spinderella.
No
That's a
doubt.
real story there. So I love that. Hey, Wade, he does deserve it. Wade is my buddy.
Yeah, Wade is
Um,
awesome.
so we are here today, and we're just gonna keep it light and conversational. Y'all ask your questions away. We're gonna talk about some secrets of the trade, I believe that we do. Some things that we like to give away. I don't often like to give away my secrets for free. So the fact that y'all get to be able to watch this and to see it is beautiful to me. So again, those of you on social media, Instagram or our YouTubes. We are on like three or four YouTubes, four YouTubes, and both these Instagram pages. Please ask us your questions away, because you got a botanist and a horticulturalist, a farmer really, because you're doing all the things. You have
Yeah,
all that acreage out there.
all that acreage. Well, the thing about it is, I've never met a plant that I didn't want to grow. You know, but,
Mm.
but I thought about something. On Saturdays I do a little podcast in the morning, right?
Uh-huh.
It's mornings with Gray, and it's funny because I was talking about container soil this weekend.
Mm.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked on our podcast. What's the difference between dirt and soil? Because a lot of the online social media groups are always talking about dirt versus soil, dirt versus soil. Well, you're the botanist. What's the difference between dirt and soil? Even though the name of our show is the Dirt on Gardening.
It really is the dirt on gardening. So look, here's the difference for the people who want this answer. I'm going to give it to you. The difference between dirt and soil is dirt has no life in it, and soil is living. But I want you all to know, as a North Carolinian, okay, they are interchangeable to me. Now, I don't say that that's right, because somebody used to stop me and they be like, we don't have dirt, we have soil. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. When you go inside, you don't say, oh, I'm soil. You say, I'm dirty. That's just
Very
me.
true.
But
Very
again,
true.
I know that's the answer that people want.
Yeah. And I mean, you're right. You're right. And that's what we were talking about. Is dirt is essentially, it's devoid of life. It's not going to have that microbiology in there. It's not going to have the protozoa, the bacteria, all those things you need to foster life in a plant. It's not going to be in there in your dirt, but your soil is going to have all that. But you're right. I mean, it's one of those things that you say it enough where most people know what you're talking about. Like, for instance, you guys know that I'm a mechanic in my other world, right?
Mm,
The thing that runs your vehicle, the heart of your vehicle, is called an engine, but everybody and their mama calls it a motor. A motor is
mm,
an electrical device. But, enough people say it where it's like, okay, yeah, I know what you mean. But no, it's actually called an engine. So you just got to let it go, right? Like
look,
Teddy Pendergrass said, you got to let it
looks
go.
like another little TKO. That's where I was going.
Hey there,
So
Jimmy.
we got all the people in here today. Again, ask your questions. You have probably combined at least 20 years, 50, 40 years of growing experience, I'm sure. I'm trying to think. I started growing plants as a child, but I started growing plants good as a teenager. I was maybe like 15 or 16. Um, Definitely below 17, and I'm 35 now. So yeah, that's 20 years. You have at least 40 years of experience of growing people here. So you can ask us your questions, and we'll give you some good answers or tell you where to go.
Well, Wade, Plants by Wade just had a question for us, and it's about
He
reusing
did.
soil. Yeah, it's about reusing soil.
What he say?
He said, "Can you reuse soil, or do you recommend a fresh soil?" And
That's
now
a good question. What you gonna say?
it really is. And I'm going to say, look, I'm cheap, so Derek always talk about all these acres around I got around here. But look, I do have a lot of growing beds, and I will reuse soil in a heartbeat. I don't get rid of soil. I've seen people throw soil around. I'm like, that is some premium soil right there. You can refresh that. You can add things to that. You can amend that soil. I don't throw soil out. No, I reuse it. What about you,
Oh
Derek?
wow. Now I'm gonna tell y'all my trajectory because I want y'all to often know where I came from. When I talk about a lot of the stuff I do, especially about these plant hacks, I really talk about it like I do because I used to do a lot of those things. So back in the day, Derek used to be like, I'm going to take the soil and I would rotate it out and I would rotate it out and put it with earthworms. Because, and when I say back in the day, I mean when I was like, again, 14, 15, 16, right? Because here's the thing, I knew in a book somewhere that earthworms regenerate and replenish soil. So if I can get them good, I can get everybody else good, right? My plants would be okay.
Right.
And then at one point I started just adding compost. Hey, Waste Fairy, I started adding compost to everything heavily. I would take the soil out and turn it and do all these big things to it. So all these pots, take it out, do all this stuff. And I, at now the big age of 3, 5, do this. I will just go out yonder to my pots, any of them, unless
Right.
I'm repotting purposely, and I will just literally add a slow release, some mycorrhizal stuff on top of the soil. I may work it in, I may kind of rough the soil up a little bit, but outside of that, a lot of my stuff is perennialized out yonder. I don't do all of that anymore. And I know a lot of you are like, well, my favor is like get rid of that soil and da 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 da, and you're throwing it away. Because there's a lot of people, Gray, who throw soil away. I don't know. Do they tell you they do that?
I've heard of people doing it. I'm like, that's the craziest thing in the world to me.
Insane. Because it's a non-renewable resource. Like peat bogs or the slash and burn cocoa core plantations are both effing up the environment, right? There's some people will be like, this is better than this, or this is better than that. It's all terrible. So just keep the soil. And unless it's like got a terrible pest infestation. Hey, Agro Chic, we got Perla up here. Unless it's got
Whoa.
a terrible pest infestation, or unless it's got a terrible disease infestation, keep that soil. Keep it forever. So that was a very long answer to your short question.
Oh, hey, well, you know what? I got to give a shout out. I got to give a special shout out to my friend NYC Apartment Home. She is a wonderful
Yes.
lady. She has a bunch of great tips, DIY hacks. You guys make sure to check her out. Look, I think she's awesome, and you will too. Okay, I just have to say that.
And I'll say, if I haven't looked at that person's page and rolled my eyes yet, then they must be doing good. Because I don't remember looking at them and being like, ugh. And some people that make me say, ugh, especially y'all's cousin Hamilton. Okay. I dare some of y'all to tag them in the comments. Okay, we got another comment.
What we got?
They reuse it. They don't either. They reuse the soil. What's your most precious indoor plant?
Ooh.
Your
Ooh.
most precious. Which one do you, I guess, value the most or care for the most? Which one are you most, like if you had to save them in a house fire, who you going for first?
Ooh. See that one? That's hard, brother. That's
Yeah,
hard.
because I'm thinking of several. I got my Thai
Mm.
Constellation, my strawberry shake. I
Mm.
repotted it. It's actually growing now because it's growing slowly before, but it's actually noticeably growing now. That I'm like literally, it'd be like that Pee Wee Herman movie when he was running out with all the animals back and forth. It would be me with all these plants. But what about you, Gray?
Well, first I want to say rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman. And man was an
I
icon. He was a
know.
legend.
Paul
Um,
Rubens, I tell you. Go ahead though.
Paul Rubens, yeah, Paul Rubens. And that's a challenging one because I don't know, dude. I mean, like, I really feel like I would be Big Top Pee Wee or Pee Wee's Big Adventure because I'd be running out with my moringa trees and it would probably kill my back. I would be running out with my Thai constellation. But see, when you asked the question, you said, which one do you care for the most? My Tycon, she's golden. She's good. She's putting out some beautiful leaves. But my Albo, she is a I'm gonna talk about her right now. She is temperamental. I mean, oh, I gotta care for her so much. I gotta baby her. And it's funny because I always see people with these big, beautiful elbows, but my elbow is like an everyday struggle. We
Oh
talking every day.
no. Oh my God. So see, there we go. Those are our precious ones. And look, and from what you're hearing from us, we go through the same struggles that you all do. We go through the same growing pains that you all go through. It's not just you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
I
is
know
not just you.
some people will make it seem like they just have the best gardens in the world. But the fact of the matter is, we're real here. We will show you our fails. We'll show you, when bugs are eating our our plants, or we got an infestation of millipedes, because that's one of the videos I did, or a disease. It happens. 20 years of growing with you. It comes, it goes. That's life, right?
God knows. It does, it does. How do I bring my strawberry? I'm assuming this means back to life. They want to know about bringing the strawberry back to life. I haven't grown strawberries in a while. So what you got?
Well, I'm not the strawberry king of Dallas, but I'm definitely like the Duke because I'm trying to become. I'm getting there, right? But
Uh-huh.
I have 13 strawberry patches. So I tell you this: when it comes to your strawberry, first you gotta let me know what's going on with it. Is it fully dead? What's the conditions? What are we looking at? If you want to DM me or if you want to follow back up with that question, let me know what kind of situation, what kind of soil you have it in. Because with strawberries, your soil is going to be so key. So you gotta let me
Hmm.
know those things, okay?
Okay, so we're gonna wait for that person to come back in. And again, y'all, we are here giving you the dirt on gardening. And you said the dirt, the soil is key.
Soil is key. Yeah.
You know, what else is a good key to be able to have, a good enjoyment to be able to have today? Is when you are eating, because your soil is your food for your plants. When you are eating, when you are feeding yourself, right? How many of y'all are eating today? If you already eaten, tell me what you've eaten in the comments, right? Go ahead and put it in the comments what you've been eating today. I had some ribs. They were delicious. Gray, what you had for dinner?
Well, I made a nice like tuna helper because my wife just loves tuna.
We love tuna too. And see, if you want to have a good helper, this was a good lead in. You're going to get you some pepper sauce. Okay. He seen where I was going with this.
Oh, I did.
This pepper sauce is by Andre the farmer. Now, he's not here. I know y'all are like, where's Andre? We didn't say nothing. Andre is at one of his many homes. Okay. Y'all know he got about 50 houses, each with 10 acres. Okay. He got about 5,000 acres. I know y'all like that math don't work out. Don't worry about it. But this pepper sauce is delicious. Now, your bowl of rice, right? This is your first time catching it live. You've had salmon, green beans, and potatoes. You get this pepper sauce on your roasted vegetables and rice, and you will love it today. Get this here. You can get this from AndreTheFarmer.com. You can also get this on Amazon, for those of you who don't know Amazon. And you can get this, where else? Can you get it from the Walmart? Did I make that up? Or is that
No,
Retain?
yeah,
Retain
not.
is Walmart. Walmart is
It's
coming
only
in
on
the
his
future.
website.
In the future, Walmart is going to say, we black man, we're going to get you our money. Okay. And they're going to do it only if he lets them. So get you some Retain today. So the person that's coming back, they said they was going to send you a picture of them strawberries.
Okay, well, I can't look at the picture during the live, so I have to answer that question after the live. But yeah, if you can just let me know some more information about those strawberries, I can help you out.
Unless I mix this person up. Yeah, it's the same person because he also said, this is Jimmy James, retired chef. My peppers, I want to have a plethora, but I still think I'm doing something wrong. So yeah, Jimmy James, with that, we need some information. So if you are doing things with your peppers, I can say this, your peppers, things in that nightshade family, peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, potatoes, for those of you growing your own rolling tobacco, you want to make sure you give those plants a lot of good feed, a lot of good fertilizer, and beautiful calcium because they want just that. How do you give them calcium? I do not want you to go to 5 Minute Crafts and grind down some eggs and sprinkle it and say, done, right? I do not want you to do that. But what I do want you to do is to go and either hit me up in my DMs. Some of you did from a couple of weeks ago. I can send you the way to make it as a liquid that comes from the Hawaii Extension Office. It's basically eggshell powder and vinegar and water. It's real easy. I might do it on a live one day. I might do it on my CTV platform. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's something I plan on doing one day. But I'm like, man, my plants are always good. So I'll be like, my plants are good. But it's something that we just need some more information on.
Yeah. Because visual, having those visual aids is helpful for everybody to keep, learning everything. I think we had a follow-up question about strawberries, and I'm gonna take this one. Uh, Keaton Creation says, "What type of dirt or soil do you need for strawberries?" Well, when it comes to strawberries, you are looking for a slightly acidic, sandy loam. Strawberries don't like wet feet. I don't really think there's any plant for that matter that we're gonna grow in our gardens that does like, oh, since the studio is here, hey, what's going on, my friend? I don't think any plant actually likes just sitting in water unless we're doing it hydroponically or aquaponically, but sitting in water and soil, it's a bad combination. So
Yeah,
with
not
strawberries,
easy.
you're gonna make sure that it needs to drain properly and it's gonna be slightly acidic around about 6.2. And now, if you have questions about how to get acidic soil and how to grow your strawberries, actually, a couple of weeks ago, I did videos on that a while back. And if you DM me, I can send you my specific strawberry soil recipe. I have no problem with sharing it for free.
For free. And see, this is a great lead into this other question about from Sonia's Bug Spray. We're going to shout them out in probably another 10 minutes. They're asking about cocoa coir. Is it cocoa coir or coir or core? I say core because I'm Southern. Is it good for just about every plant? By itself, no.
No.
With stuff, yes. Like you can take, it is my express belief, and this is something that I used to do on a lot of lives, right?
Hmm.
I don't mix soil on live anymore because people didn't tune in, and it's really a thing that I do tactile for me. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
for me, the tactile movement of just mixing soil, I play some music, maybe I go up the ladder through the roof. Those of y'all who catch
Hold
that,
on, hold
catch
on,
it.
hold on. Are your eyes okay? Did you get some of
My,
the pepper sauce in your eyes?
I must have got the pepper sauce in my eyes are drying out. So when I was cooking them ribs,
Mm.
I had a lot of smoke in here. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I ended up smoking this house out, I tell you, because the way I know that my food is done is when the fire alarm goes off. So, so that's my time. When we say beep, beep, I'm like, that's good. No salmonella in there. So when it comes to core, it's my or any soil you're using, it is my express belief that you can transform any soil into something that can work for any plant you're growing in, right? So you can get the big bag of garden soil or the little bags of houseplant soil or just straight up peat moss or just straight up core and turn those into stuff. And this is where we talk about recycling soil because I know Gray does it. We literally will take components, which are sometimes cheaper, and blend them up to make something that works for our plants and how we take care of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I honestly make all of my own special soil blends for whatever. Like, look, okay, talk about soil.
mhm.
I'm not joking with you. I was literally just mixing up some soil this weekend.
We
This is right
love
here.
that.
See, look at that. I
And
mean,
I
I'm
might,
constantly always blending and making my own. So when it comes to, I think the original question was about the cocoa core. Like,
yeah,
yeah, cocoa core is good, and it's a lot of your seed starting mixes. That's going to be a major component in it. The reason
yeah, it might
behind it,
just be just that.
yeah, because your cocoa core, along with like maybe some vermiculite, depending on the brand, or a little bit of perlite, they add that in there because it's inert and it's not going to have all that fungus in it. Because with your seeds, when you're initially starting, they gotta stay constantly wet. What you got there?
This is soil that I mix up myself. This is recycled soil. I add stuff to, and I give it away when I go and talk.
There you go. Nice, nice.
So
Yeah, but I
I,
mean, so to use cocoa core by itself, I wouldn't recommend it because it retains a lot of moisture. And outside of germination, your plants are not going to want to stay that consistently moist all the time. So yeah, definitely amend it and add it and make it to the soil you need it for whatever those conditions are.
we love that. And speaking of conditions, we're going to talk about conditioning our soil with fish emulsions. I know you've used them before. We talked about that before, right?
I don't think we've talked about it. I've done it before, but I don't think we've actually had a conversation about it. What you got?
You know what? Maybe you made a comment, a content, or a video on it. So Jimmy James, he is ready to grow. And
Hmm.
if you're ready to grow, y'all make sure y'all are commenting and asking your questions below. He is asking, is fish fertilizers, is it good to use them, the fish emulsions, for his peppers? Is it good to use them? He needs to find out if that the peppers still in the, he needs to find out if he still has jalapenos. So what is your view on fish emulsions, which is heavy, high in nitrogen? For what those of you who don't know, nitrogen is a micronutrient. You don't need a lot of it.
Hmm.
Um, what is your view on that?
For this particular situation, when we're talking about the peppers, I would say using a fish emulsion throughout the growing period. So I'm going to say using some at the beginning is good because you're going to need that initial nitrogen. And then during flowering, fruiting stage, then I would come back and maybe hit a couple of weeks with some fish emulsion. But of course, once we go into that dormant stage, once it starts going to sleep for the winter or whatever you're going to do for the winter, cut
Hmm.
back on it because you don't want to overdo it with your nitrogen because most of your nightshade family, they are not going to want way too much nitrogen. So we're talking about all those plants you listed before, right? Your tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and so forth. Because you
Hmm.
start getting too much nitrogen in that equation, you're going to get a lot of leaves, you're going to get a lot of foliage, but you're not going to get as much flowering and fruiting going on. Plus, you're going to be sending the dinner bell to all your caterpillars because you got all that foliage, all that excess nitrogen. It's going to bring your pests into the equation. So you don't want to overdo it with the nitrogen. Now, one good thing, and now I don't want to get too scientific on you, but I know you know this, Derek.
Hmm.
Nitrogen leaches away from the soil. It's very mobile in the soil. So after a heavy rain, you can lose a lot of nitrogen. So you'll have to figure out what frequency works for you and how you're growing it, but you will have to supplement some nitrogen. What's your thoughts, Derek? I see the wheels are turning over there. What you got?
So I like all that you said, and it's really the only thing I'll say is if you're doing a lot of, and this is with any fertilizer, when you are doing these fertilizers, just be mindful that because especially nitrogen is so mobile, meaning that you can put it in your soil, it can go to your plants, and if you did too much and you had an oh no moment, an expletive flies out of your mouth, it's like a beep, right? You can rinse it out, right? It's not like silicone or other things that are just harder to rinse out. But that rinsate, that leached water that has all that nitrogen in it can be dangerous to the environment. So just be careful. But I would also say it depends on what you're using as fertilizer. So with this, and Jimmy's also asking like when I should put them in the ground. Jimmy, it'll be best if when you're hitting up Gray about those pictures, like you, or if any of you are like, hey, when do I put my peppers? When do I start fall gardening? Please tell us where you are in the world because Gray is in Texas. I'm in North Carolina. We have different expectations climatologically. That's not a word, but I'm gonna use it today.
I love it. It's a word
Climatologically,
now.
it is now because I said it. If I could spell it and say it, it's a word. So with that being said, we have different expectations, different zones, different things in the world. So just be sure to give that to us because it's harder for us to say specifically how to give you information. And here's a key tip. Y'all make sure y'all remember this. If you go to your favorite plant person's page and you ask them a question about how to put your plants into the ground, when do I start my peas? When do I start my sunflowers? And they give you an answer without asking where you are in the world, they had done led you wrong. They led you astray. They done
Mhm.
led you astray. So we got a lot of people coming in. Again, ask your questions in the comments. I am waving to the people. Y'all make sure y'all show the people who we are. Your buddy Gray has a question. NC Apartment Home. They want to know what vegetable would you recommend growing in a raised bed garden for the fall that is beginner friendly and low maintenance. So they're in New York. We know that in their name. They
Mhm.
want a vegetable in the fall in raised bed, friendly to beginners, low maintenance. What say you? And I think they
Hmm.
would be in zone because it goes up. Does it go down or up as you go up? They're in
It,
zone like 3 or something. No, you
it
go ahead
goes
and
down. It
it
goes down.
goes
But you know
down.
what? Before we answer this question, I wanna put this out there because I'm glad you mentioned this. We talk a lot about our zones, right? And it's funny because down here in Texas, the master gardeners down here in Texas, we don't care so much about the zone because guess what? Seattle, Seattle, Washington, and Dallas, Texas are the same exact zone.
I know this just freaked me out. They were the zone I used to be in North Carolina. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense, right? Because it's based off of the frost, when the frost comes in and how long the cold lasts. But it doesn't take into consideration that right now, today, it was like 101 outside. In Seattle, it's like in the 70s. And I know because my brother in law lives out there and I'm jealous. So that has a lot to do with it. But going back to the original question is all right, so NYC apartment home is in New York. And I want to say that she does do a balcony garden. I don't know. That
Uh-huh.
was so, and I have friends that live out there in New York, and I know they do a lot of balcony and container garden too. I would say if we're gonna do a raised bed in New York, and it's warm right now because they have that's another misconception because us Southerners we think oh it go up north and it starts getting cold. No, New York is humid like Louisiana right now. So
Mm.
I would say my go-to, one of my favorites, and I think will do well out there because it loves warm, humid environments. And you could probably harvest this all the way until you get your first frost. And I'm gonna say red leaf amaranth. Reason being is because
Mm.
red leaf amaranth is almost like texture speaking, it's like a spinach. It's a beautiful color to it. It's a multicolored leaf. You can harvest multiple times off of it, and it does well in the hot, humid areas. You can cook it real easy. It sautés down really good with like some onions and some garlic.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my recommendation right there because you can do so much with red leaf amaranth. Plus, it has a lot of protein in it. Granted, I'm not a nutritionalist, so I'm not telling you what kind of diet you should
Yeah.
have, but I'm saying it does have a lot of protein in it, and it's a really good leafy green to grow for a fall garden, especially in your environment.
We'd love to see it. So I would go with, because I looked it up, in every county you're in, Party People, you have a cooperative extension office. So I just went to New York Cooperative Extension, very loose Google. I know New York is big, but whatever. I would say either radishes, because you can start a radish and germinate it in under a week. And then you can do bumper crops. So you could basically wait like 3 days, germinate some more seeds, and then you can like get a bunch of radishes. For those of you who love the taste of it, or garlic. I love the taste of garlic. You put them down, you're good. Beets, I've not been able to have good luck with starting beets. I just I don't plant them deep enough, I feel like, and I feel like if I just wet the soil and then plant them versus planting and then wetting them, it would be better. But that's what I would say. So look at us going. Let's see. We're talking about, so we talked more about this. This is a good question, and this is going to be very, giving us very good mental container, mindset is here from Sister Studio.
Oh, that's my friend now.
That's your friend. But they asked us a very cerebral question here.
I like
Is
it. All ears.
nutrient loss more or less if plants are in containers versus in ground?
Ooh. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sister Studio always hits you with the deep ones. I like that one. That's a deep cut right there. That's making, what did Arsenio Hall you say? Something to make you
Things we
go,
go,
hmm.
uh-huh.
I like it. And not to be ambiguous with my answer, but I'm going to say it's going to vary depending on the container. I mean, if we're
Same.
talking about plastic containers or terracotta, or if we're talking about buckets, we're talking about
Something that's
grow
real
bags.
big versus something that's real small, and
Yeah,
what you're growing. It's so many varieties there. So if we just normalize it to a tomato in the ground, because
mhm.
we're just going, they didn't say this. I'm just going, because I've been looking at this one for a minute. A tomato in ground versus a tomato in a pot that's like 20 inches. Nutrient loss. What are you thinking there?
I'm going to say you're probably going to get, well, we have to break down the nutrients, okay? So we're probably going to get more leaching from our nitrogen because we're
Yeah.
going to have to water more for that tomato that's going to be in that container, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's a smaller surface area, and your soil is going to dry out quicker because of that smaller surface area. So you're going to lose a lot more nitrogen. Your potassium, maybe not as much because it's not as mobile as your nitrogen, but definitely not as bad as your phosphorus. Your phosphorus, like once it's there, it pretty much likes to stay there. Because I know a lot of times we'll talk about adding phosphorus to things. That's why I always lead in with test your soil, because phosphorus is one of those, pretty much once you have it in there, it's really not going anywhere. It's so slow in the soil. So I would say, yeah, you would probably get a significant loss of nitrogen and maybe a little bit of potassium in a container for tomatoes. Yeah, as opposed to in ground, because larger surface area is going to hold on a little more, and depends on what you've added to that soil too. If you've added in some of your mulches and some of your debris and trees and branches, or doing a little bit of culture or something like that, it depends on what's going to hold on to it for you, and retain that
Yeah.
moisture and nutrients. What's your
Because I
thoughts?
think Because I think if we're talking, and this is where I've even gotten deeper in my head, if we're talking nutrient loss in the soil,
Hmm.
then yeah, there would be a deficiency because you have more of a volume there that you would have to contain, that you would have to water and keep up with, that you would probably broadcast fertilizer over. But if we're talking about the plants, both plants could be as equally nutrient dense, could have the same amount of biomass,
Hmm.
regardless of whether they're in ground versus in a container, if you're
Hmm.
treating everything the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
So this is great. So look at this. And then we're going into nutrients. So Drink Day Friday hit me up a couple of weeks ago. Hated them. They're growing corn in a container. I think I can't remember where they said they are, but they're using blood meal, which is I believe phosphorus, right? No, blood meal
Blood
is
meal,
nitrogen.
nitrogen.
Blood meal, I was thinking bone. Blood meal for corn. How often should you use it?
Corn loves nitrogen. That's the whole problem with corn. So I mean, you're constantly. I mean, it's sucking it up as soon as you can put it in. So honestly, I don't really think that you if you're using blood meal, I don't think you can get into a situation where you could burn out that corn from going too heavy on the nitrogen. I would say give it a little bit of nitrogen. And now I can't remember. I think Drink Day Friday is closer by me, if I'm not mistaken.
They might
Uh,
be. Hopefully they'll say it in the comments while you keep going.
Yeah, but I would say I would go definitely about maybe every 2 to 3 weeks of hitting it with some blood meal. And now, when I did my corn, I've already harvested my corn for the season. Uh, because I know corn pulls so much nitrogen out of the soil, what I ended up doing was that I planted peas. I planted Wando peas with my
Mm,
corn because the Wando peas are a nitrogen fixture. They're adding nitrogen into the soil as the corn is sucking it out of the soil.
that's smart. That's
Mm-hmm.
smart. Using plants to your benefit.
Mm-hmm. I tried to, you know.
I love that for you. You know, I love using things for my benefits too. I have had the most wonderful time trying to figure out how to keep certain pests away, but they keep bugging me. And I've been trying to use some things in my favor that will hopefully stop things from bugging me too. Um, Hopefully none of you will be bugged. I don't have this product, so hopefully the person below me got it. They got it right near them. And
Right
this
near.
product is Sonia's Bug Spray. Sonia's Bug Spray is one of our many sponsors. If you want to be one of your sponsors, hit us up. And Sonia's is amazing. Gray and
Me too.
Andre use this stuff. They say it's like lotion. Okay,
No, yeah.
you put it on, and the bugs will be like, "Nah, thank you." And it soothes. It's an itch stopper. What is the word y'all use? Itch heal,
Oh,
itch
afterbite.
prevent.
Afterbite.
Afterbite. There we
You
go.
can
I
use
can never think
afterbite.
of that. An
Well,
afterbite.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, this weekend we was using a lot, so I'm actually almost out. So Sonia, I'm gonna have to hit you up. I'm gonna have to get some more because when we were hanging out with my father-in-law, we were hanging out on the deck until the cows came home. They came home, and the chickens came to roost too. So we were all definitely using some Sonia's bug spray because we were hanging out, and the bugs was not doing us any harm. So thank you, Sonia. I love it, and it feels great on your skin for real.
We loved you to hear that. So they said there's a microphone echo. That is very odd. I'm sorry, YouTube. We're going to look into that microphone echo thereafter. They say they can't hear us. I'm not sure. I'm because there's two of us. Usually, if there's three, I can mentally leave the conversation and check what's going on here because I'm Mr. Tech Man, but I can't. So I'm sorry. Now all these words are probably echoing real bad on their end. I feel bad. So we're going to keep going, and we're going to come to this right after we get off of here.
All right.
Um,
Sorry, YouTube. We
so
gonna we gonna take care of you. We're gonna
we're
fix it.
gonna fix this because I don't know what it is at this point. Maybe it's me. Um, Jimmy James is like, sorry for your ignorance. Never be sorry for asking questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Never be sorry for asking questions. Um, they want to understand and learn about their plants. So here's the thing. This is why we're here, right?
Mhm.
I will tell you all to your blue in the face to go to Master Gardeners like Gray or to go to Cooperative Extension, right? I love that you all come to me. I'll answer all of your questions. But Cooperative Extension in your counties, if you work, your taxes paid for these people to go. Your money in Texas, whatever part of the world that Gray is in, paid him to be able to get that beautiful cowboy hat. They don't pay Master Gardeners, but they
Wait up.
paid the service to be able to get him trained, right?
Yeah,
And to add to the experience and the knowledge that he already has. So you're literally getting your money's worth. Often they get a lot of resources for free. So never feel bad for asking us questions.
never. Yeah, that's what we're here for. But to Derek's point, if there's ever a moment when I'm not getting to you soon enough, because you know I try my hardest to answer every single question, like Derek said, that cooperative extension is right there on Google, and that science-backed, real information. It's no hype. It's no speculation. This is all scientifically proven information. Like you can literally go to California's. What is it? I think California. Their extension is uh, University of California, if I'm not saying UC. Go onto their website, type in your pepper problem, and I'm pretty sure they could probably have an answer faster than I can. So check them out. But yeah, always keep the questions coming. That's what they're here for. There's no such a bad thing as a bad question. Unless you start asking us about banana water. That might be a hot button subject for Derek.
It will make me pass out. I will be like, and pass out. That's what will happen. That is exactly what will happen. And we don't want that. We don't want that.
Oh, it's
Let
IC
me see.
Davis in California. I'm sorry. Thank you. Our wonderful sponsor, Retain Spray, says IC Davis in California. Thank you.
We love this. What do you got to say about mealy bugs?
They suck. Mealy bugs suck. What's the problem? I didn't see the question. They have an infestation of mealy bugs. They have a problem going on with.
They just said mealy bugs. Ah. So can
Mealybugs.
you
Yeah.
give them some help with mealy bugs and how to deal with them?
Yeah, I definitely will. Well, I mean, now to that effect, all right, what's the problem you're having with the bugs? Let me know how many plants is it affecting, and I will help you as best as possible.
There we go. While they're doing that,
Hmm.
my bugs are those darn cats. For those of you dealing with cats, there's something I usually say that I won't say here because we'll be demonetized. We're not even monetized yet. They will preemptively demonetize us, so I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. But if you're dealing with cats, build a barrier. Like you can go to your Home Depot or your Lowe's. I prefer that you go to Lowe's because I'm trying not to go to Home Depot anymore after some recent political developments. And you can get it's not paneling. It's like a horse panel or something is really rolled up like sheets of fencing. And like for 40 or $60, you can get just a lifetime's worth of it and protect your plants physically.
Oh, and I'm gonna tell you this: don't plant catnip. But a buddy of mine, he was so excited. He wanted to just plant everything. He was one of those just excited gardeners, and I loved his enthusiasm. But one year he planted some catnip, and the cats loved his house. He was wondering why the cats were all laying around his garden, all strung out. Yeah, don't. If you're gonna plant some catnip, put it in containers because it might invite them over. But I love cats, so I love all animals really.
I love that you do. So we got the cats that are coming in, the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Those of you who are like, where to go again, it's cooperative extension or agricultural extension. That is where you go. Let's see here. Just received an invitation to the 2026 class for Orange County. We love that. Congratulations, Delicious. Let me
Nice.
see here. You was told coffee grounds. There are some smells, orange peels and coffee grounds. There's a lot of things that are supposed to keep animals away, right? So when it comes to coffee grounds and orange peels and garlic powder and black pepper, some of it is if it's an irritant where they smell it and they get irritated, they'll run away. Like black pepper, cayenne pepper, hot pepper flakes, like those things will keep them away. Soaps and urine, your urine, coyote urine, all this other stuff, give it a shot. There's some science to some of that, but if it rains, then it washes away. You got to kind of reapply it. So
And
physical
as it
barrier is often what I would say.
Yeah, and as it decomposes too, because I mean those coffee grounds. If we're talking about spent coffee grounds, in 2 to 3 months, it will have broken down and decomposed, and that's when you actually start getting some benefit of putting coffee grounds in your garden once it actually decomposes. But yeah, so when using some of these methods, you definitely have to, like Derek, I'm gonna agree. Look, see, I'm co-signing on him. I'm saying, yeah, you definitely need to go with some kind of mechanical barrier. That'd be your best avenue of approach. And now we never got a follow up on the mealybug question, but I can't leave it out there in the ether.
Hmm.
My recommendation is that if you're having a problem with mealybugs, the best thing you can possibly do is go through and hand remove them. Get you some alcohol spray and kind of wipe down all the surfaces of your leaves to kind of, to handpick and get those mealy bugs out of there. A better approach might even be like a neem oil because you want to affect their gastrointestinal system and kind of get them out. But when you're using your horticultural oils, and I always say this, make sure that you're doing it either in the early hours of the morning or you're doing it in the late hours of the afternoon because you don't want to do it in the heat of the sun because this is an oil and it could potentially bake your foliage. But when you're applying it,
Exactly.
make sure you're hitting it on both the top and the bottom and the stems. Get everywhere you possibly can that those mealy bugs might be hiding because they like hiding in those veins.
Exactamundo. And coming back to the cats, we were talking about that. A person on YouTube had said, can cats keep squirrels away? And they will. A cat, an animal will scare your squirrels away, right? I cannot stand squirrels. In our next podcast, we'll hopefully talk about like the pests that we've dealt with because I have a story about a neighborhood of squirrels that will never forget my name. But cats can also F up an environment, so you don't want that to happen. They can take out all sorts of wildlife. So don't, if you have your cats outside to scare things. That's one thing. Don't let them go and run ramshot elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know some people like to allow their cats to kind of roam free during the day. I mean, my cats, they live indoors. But if you're going to do that, make sure you do the right thing, get them spayed or neutered, because feral cats, I mean, they can neutralize your whole entire bird population in a neighborhood in like over a couple of months. So make sure that you are doing the right thing and make sure you get them spayed and neutered. So you're not killing off all of your avian population, because they're the best thing for pests.
Okay, Bob Barker, get them spayed and neutered. You might as well have a little long mic.
Everybody loves my mic on a stick. Let me get the mic on
Yes.
a stick.
And make sure you get them spayed and neutered. Come on down. I love that. And so again, those of you who are asking your questions, it's 8:46. We end this at 9.
Hmm.
Okay. So go ahead and get your fingers typing, right? Get your fingers typing. One person said Andre has suggested fake snakes to repel squirrels. It works in your yard. You can definitely do fake pests, like to keep geese and everything else out. You move them every so often. It's better than real snakes for some people. So I mean, give it a shot. Give
But
it
you
a
know what?
shot.
So while we're talking about pests and we're talking about ways of being able to maintain our garden, what's some way we
Mm.
can maintain our tools in the garden? Do you ever have to maintain or retain your tools? See, I'm
You
not as
know
good
what?
as you
I
at this.
do. I do. I love this lead in. I do. I do. And when it comes to maintaining these tools, what do you suggest we use?
I say we use
Ooh.
Retain. Retain is a
Ooh.
wonderful, completely organic lubricant that you can use to desanitize your tools, because let's face it, when we're doing these propagations, when we're doing these graftings and stuff like that, or when we're just doing natural pruning, we potentially could be spreading plant disease to our other plants. So make sure you lube up your tools with some retain, because it will definitely help you retain your tools, and way better than alcohol or bleach or anything like that, because that can rust your tools out.
We love it. We don't want our tools to be rusted out. We want our tools to be good. So retain them for longer and get you some retain today. And apparently, I want you all to know that they are having a giveaway on the 21st. They're going to be giving away that pruner cleaner on Melody's birthday. So preemptive happy birthday to her. You can get it from walmart.com. You can get it. Again, I would prefer you not to go to Home Depot. But if you go to the Amazon, retainsspray.com, or walmart.com, you can get you some retain today. We had a question on YouTube that I skipped over. And Miss
Yeah.
Cheryl said, you ain't fitting to ignore me. She said, you ain't fitting to ignore me. Okay, I
What'd you
already can't
say?
hear y'all. And y'all ain't fitting to ignore me. She had a bad infestation on her corn stalks. Looks like stink bugs and ants. Do I know, or we know, what they can do different next year?
Yes, and Miss Cheryl is my friend. So I'm gonna make sure, and I know we got to echo, but I'm gonna try to say this as best as possible. Companion planting. Honestly, that's one of the best things that I can recommend, because I had Japanese beetles all over my garden this year. But guess what? Because I did so much companion planting, they only ate like 2 plants, but that's okay. The one plant that they ate was my nasturtiums. That's what my nasturtiums were there for. They're a trap crop that I use them to deter the pests from eating my other plants. And the second plant that I had out there with my around my corn and rest of my crops was basil. I do a lot of basil. So I would definitely recommend you putting some companion plants around that garden to try to block those pests as best as possible. Now it's going to be a challenge. And the reason why I'm recommending basil to you, now Miss Cheryl, I'm not sure exactly where you're at, but I'm recommending basil because corn can get fairly tall, right? Basil can also get tall. What you're going to want to do to maintain your basil is prune it so that your branches are going upward, so it can kind of follow that same path of your corn, and it kind of goes invisible to your pests. Does that make sense? And then, of course, you can always hit me up offline and we'll further talk about it more.
Beautiful. And again, you know, when it comes to these stink bugs and these bugs and these pests, there are so many different things you can use. But as long as you know what it is, it helps us to be able to better give you a good answer.
Mhm.
Um, We love to see it. So let's see. I was listening in, trying to figure out where this echo is coming in from. Hopefully, I pushed some buttons on YouTube. So if it's still echoing, hopefully they'll let us know if it is or ain't. So we
Hmm.
are here doing the darn thing. We are talking about plants. We are
But you know what?
answering your questions. What you gonna say?
Sorry, I just got to interrupt you for a second, brother,
Go ahead.
because you know I don't think as men we vocalize when we appreciate each other. You're like, ah,
Mm,
you cool, ah, you all right. But I'm gonna give you your props because not only is Derek hosting this doggone podcast right now, he is also the tech guy right now, running it on the YouTube, on the ones and twos. He is trying to do everything he can. Plus, he's firing away at these questions. So I just want to say, Derek, from me to you, I appreciate everything you do, brother. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well because God knows if I didn't have this neurodivergent things going on with my attention span be everywhere at once, I don't know how I would do all the stuff that I do. So I thank y'all for that. And today, I challenge each of you, any of you, Fertile Ground, if you're still here, Fertile Ground NC, I need you to hit me up after this. If you're still here, Fertile Ground NC, I need to talk to you. Um, I challenge any of you, every one of you, to give love to a man in your life, right? Give them their flowers while they are here to sniff them. Don't wait till I can't smell mine. I don't want that. I can't smell them when I'm in the casket. Give them to me where I'm here to sniff them. Okay, I want to be able to like that.
Yeah.
So this is great. This is great. So we got a hot 8 minutes. We've been answering questions about plants. We done talked about corn. We done talked about stink bugs. We done talked about growing all sorts of plants in a patio garden, container gardener. Again, we got all different places that we are in. I'm in North Carolina. He is in
Dallas. Dallas,
Dallas,
Texas.
Texas. I forgot what the state is. Chocolate only when I come in is the reverb. So it is me. It
Hmm.
is me. That's good. That's help. I appreciate the appreciation of men appreciating each other openly. We thank you for that. We are here for I appreciate your appreciation of our appreciation of each other. Okay, I'm here for it. And so, with that being said, again, we answering questions. We sitting here shooting the breeze, talking about some plant stuff. Um, I do want to say, you said we're going to leave while it's still early there. Jimmy James is upset that we're going to be leaving because even though it's 9 o'clock here, it's 8 o'clock where you are. It's eight
No, I
o'clock,
think
right?
no, in California it's probably like 6 o'clock.
No, where you are.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's about to be 8 o'clock
It's
out here.
eight
Out here.
o'clock here. It's dark outside of both of our places. He thinks we're going to be up all night sitting here chit chatting, chitter whacking. We got to go to bed. I got to go to work in the morning.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If all of you came together and gave me just $3, if all of my followers gave $1, I'd be good for a year. I'd be okay. But it is what it is. We ain't gonna talk about that. So we are here. Do you
But
talk about growing with only rainwater? What were you gonna say, Greg?
no, well, let's go ahead and ask Giovanni Lucas' question because they came to us all the way from Australia, so we have to answer their question. But I was
Crikey.
right, so we have to, and they were saying, now what are they asking about? Do you talk
Do
about
you
only going with rainwater?
do you use rainwater? Because I can't collect any.
Yeah.
So do you use rainwater?
Yeah, I collect a lot of it. I collect about 110 gallons in two 55-gallon drums that I have, and I use it as much as I can because here in Texas, I mean, let's face it, in Dallas, we're at a constant state of drought with just like random rain events. So if I can use some rainwater when I can, yeah, I'm definitely am. Because plus, this is a video that I actually talked about a while back. Your rainwater is actually going to be naturally acidic. And you're looking at natural pH of about 6.2 to 6.5 on your rainwater. So it's actually
Hmm.
better for plants depending on how you collect it. Now, because a lot of people had questions about that video, and it was like, well, what if you're, collecting it on a tin roof, or what if you're collecting it on an aggregate roof, or this or that? There's always going to be differing variables, and I can't be at everyone's house to tell them how to set up yours off of your roof, but mine works for me, and I've been using it for about 5 years with no qualms, no problems. Most of my outdoor plants are getting rainwater when I can. Some of my temperamental indoor plants will get rainwater. Like peace lily. Peace lily only gets rainwater. She wants distilled water, but I told her I'm not buying her special water, so I give her rainwater instead.
Now, if I could collect rainwater, I would. Um, I really, really would, but I cannot because I'm on an apartment. I live in the second floor, so I don't. But whenever I get a house, I plan on having like a storage tank of like 300 or 400 gallons, if not 1,000, so that way I can store a lot of rainwater and be able to recycle it and use it. Like I have big plans. I just need big money with it, and God's gonna do it for me. So let's see. We're
It's
gonna
coming,
wrap
bro.
up these. I believe it. We're gonna wrap up these questions. We did all of our sponsors. Any tips on pruning cotton plants? I've never grown cotton. Have you grown cotton?
No, I actually haven't. That would be one. Look, that's one you hit us up on the DM. Okay, let's DM. I'll work with you, or Derek will work with you, and we'll look at your local extension, ag extension, and see if we can't narrow it down. But that's one that I have not grown, and I don't. I'll never give you bad information because if I don't know it, I'll tell you I don't know.
Good deal. And I do, if you do hit me up, ID Botanical, I know somebody who grows. I guess the button I pushed on YouTube didn't work because that I guess they're saying I'm real bad now. Um, I know somebody who grows cotton in South Carolina, and he'd be able to tell you. Let's see. We love the tips. Pill bugs are cool. They are. We got a hot 3 minutes. Pill bugs seem indestructible. Pill bugs are dope, but I mean, there's some heavy pesticides you could use to get rid of pill bugs. I just typically say I'm getting rid of wasps outside right now, and I know what I could use to like kill them, but I'm just trying to like scare them off because they're pollinators. I don't want to piss. Like I just want to get them away from my patio. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
Let's see. Levi's were originally made out of hemp, not cotton. I believe I remember learning that in school.
I didn't
We are in
know.
the desert, so we only rely on water catchment for our farm. We love to see it.
Hmm.
Um, Jimmy James is in the desert, Palmdale, California, Antelope Valleys.
Out in the
We love
desert,
to see it.
right? Oh, my friend Corinne doesn't want to. What's going on? See,
I see.
she is my friend, and I say that because her name is the same name as my daughter's name. So anytime I see her name, I'm instantly like, "What you need? I got you."
We love it. And somebody on YouTube said they grow cotton in the flower part because it's gorgeous. Cotton is in the Malaceae family, which is the mallow, like hibiscus. You can
Yeah.
grow. They have the same style of flower.
Hmm.
Let's see. I have an assault roof that has particles in it. For that reason, I don't use it. I don't know what an assault. What is an assault
Asphalt.
roof?
Asphalt. That's what she needs.
Asphalt.
Asphalt.
There
So
we go.
So she's saying she has an aggregate roof, and so that's the reason why she doesn't collect rainwater because that aggregate, once that rain is hitting it, that aggregate can end up in your system.
Oh yeah, we don't want that. Which you have to be careful when y'all are using rainwater in general. I know there's a lot of people who will be like, they just want us to do our things and they're trying to control us. But sometimes, like if a bird poops on your roof and then it goes into your water, and then you're not like sanitizing that water, and then you're
Yes.
watering like leafy greens and you don't rinse them off, you could end up being potentially sick. You don't want that. So you just have to be real careful. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So we got a minute, and we ain't gonna do different with Andre not here. We're gonna do just like he would do.
Just like Andre
Let's
would
go
do.
ahead and wrap this up, okay? Because
Hmm.
he would be here, he'd be keeping us timed. I wouldn't be as talkative. Because I try to distract him, but he don't let it happen.
He on it
So
every single time.
he is on it. One day I'm gonna get him.
Hmm.
One day I'm gonna get him. He be like, listen, enough of that. I'll be like, uh-huh. I almost got you this time. I almost got you this time. So
Yes, sir.
Gray, what you
Hmm.
got to tell to the people until we see them again next week?
And keep those questions coming because believe it or not, the more you ask us questions, the better it makes us because it keeps those neurons firing. So keep those questions coming because we love them.
That's great. And for me, I want to say the same. We love to hear your questions. We love to hear your experiences, right? There's some things that are anecdotal, right? But there's some things that help us to learn um, from different things. It's amazing I say anecdotal. In the comment below, I'm not going to read it, but you see that comment about the opossum?
Hmm.
Uh-huh. So You know, it's anecdotal, but it helps us to learn and it helps us to share and it helps us to grow. So keep growing, keep being curious, keep asking us questions. We're not being curious to be contrary, but we're using science to grow. And for those of you on YouTube, if you are still here, I want you to tell me if you're still here in Echo. Next week, we're going to tell y'all next week what we're talking about. It might be pests. We might tell some of our pest problem stories. I'm probably going to talk about my battle with squirrels. It was very traumatic. It was like a Michael Bay movie. There were explosions and everything else. And if you want to see that story, you just got to come in next week. I'm not going. All I'm going to say is we
Hold,
was
hold on.
battling.
Hold on. Look, I'm gonna be Andre right now. Hey, guys, it's time. We gotta go.
You see how he did me? That's how you do it. Enough of that. Well, we're gonna go ahead and go, y'all. We are gonna be here next week, 8 p.m. Tune in then and watch the replay. Gray, until next week.
Till next week.